What's in that cup?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Good morning. I'd like you all to imagine a map of the world. Pacific, North America, South America, Atlantic, Africa, Europe, Asia, more ocean. I'd like you now to think about, what do countries like Brazil, Costa Rica, Colombia, Jamaica, Guatemala have in common with countries further west like Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Ethiopia, and even countries further west like Vietnam and Indonesia? If you imagine of that map I just presented, perhaps it's the proximity to the equator, or also that some of these countries themselves actually lie on the equator themselves. But they have a greater common bond. They have coffee. Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, what's in that cup? The answer: history, social development, economic dependency, dedication, passion, flavor, aromas, and a lot more. I'm going to present to you a condensed history of coffee, so that at the end of my speech, you'll be able to share with your friends or family 3 things: where coffee originated, who was responsible to spreading coffee worldwide, and 2 main species of coffee. According to legend, coffee trees originated in the Ethiopian province of Kaffa. It is recorded that the fruit of the plant, the coffee cherries, was consumed by the slaves and taken from the present-day Sudan into Yemen and Arabia. In the 15th century, coffee was cultivated in Yemen. The Arab countries were very proud of their coffee and their cultivation of the seeds of this energizing bean. And they protected and prohibited from exporting it outside. But in the early 1600s, the Dutch were able to circumvent that prohibition and take live coffee plants back to the Netherlands, and they grew them in their greenhouses. By the late 1600s, the Dutch were growing coffee in India and Indonesia. Dutch colonies became the main suppliers of coffee in Europe and the Americas, and eventually coffee houses started to appear in Europe and the Americas as well. The largest insurance market in the world, Lloyd's of London, actually began its life as a coffee house. The Boston Tea Party of 1773 was also planned in a coffee house. John Adams, James Otis, and Paul Revere planned the rebellion at this coffee house. So if we look back, think a little bit of that history. Once you get together with some friends, you can tell them, where did it originate? It originated in Ethiopia. Who were the persons who took the beans worldwide. The Dutch, the great tradesmen and owners of the sea. However, I forgot to mention the two main species of coffee. One is Arabica coffee, and two is Robusta. I actually had the privilege to travel the subtropical land of Nicaragua to see firsthand coffee plantation. Incredible, luscious environment. Now, coffee Arabica, the species, grows in a subtropical environment, and it grows within the altitude of 1,800 to 3,600 feet above sea level in the altitude. Arabica also grows in regions where it's 3,600 feet to 6,300 feet. But the most important thing about this energizing drink and how it's done, it's a dedication and passion that these plantation growers and producers put forth in their product. It unites them socially, and at the end becomes an economic dependency in some countries. So, like to recap, that coffee originated in Ethiopia. It was cultivated, it was sent worldwide by the Dutch, and the two coffee species are Arabica and Robusta. So the next time you're ordering a cafe latte or a cafe mocha, remember those things. And perhaps by the time you're done, you may be jumping for joy.